Hi YouTube, talking about the theme of loss, right, for life, themes of life, loss. I've experienced a loss, my mum's died, it's a loss. And it's tapped into all the previous losses, right, and this is the importance of dealing with loss as you go. Otherwise, when you come to a loss which is really hits you, you haven't just got to deal with that loss, you've got to deal with all the other losses as well then, right? Loss of, we don't just lose people. Losing people is the hardest one, the biggest one, obviously, in loss. But we lose a lot of our freedoms along the way of life. We lose our ability to speak. We lose our ability to express ourselves. We are in danger of losing all our money quite easily. Our rights, we can give up our rights, we can. But we can also lose our respect for ourselves. We can lose our sense of humour. We can lose our status in life, we can lose people, we can lose our partners, we can lose relationships, we can lose friends, we can lose jobs, we can lose houses, we can lose cars. All of those things I've just listed, I've lost all of those things, and I've also built them back up to a point where now I recognise the feeling secure in yourself. I know this is sound weird, but it means you don't need all the other things then. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'd love a car, but I don't need one. I'd love a house, but I don't need one. In that, it's not going to change how I feel if I have one. Really, honestly, it isn't. And when you get to the point of knowing that loss is one of your life things, loss becomes much easier for you to be able to deal with and handle, because, and of course, practice and experience does help, and I've had a lot of loss. So I guess if loss is a theme of your life, either because you want to experience it, or the idea is you're here to master that, so you master dealing with loss. I guess once you've mastered dealing with it, what then? Do you move on to some other theme of life? Is there another theme out there that I haven't got to yet because I've had to deal with all the losses first? I don't know. If loss is a theme of life for me, then this latest loss is yet another milestone in the experience that I've asked for. Thanks for listening. Coincidence, YouTube, what does it mean? I tell you what it means. It means that you've lined up, you have lined up with your higher self, and you're in the right place at the right time to be having experiences of the coincidental data coming to your awareness. Love when weird things happen which are like paranormal. You know, like when the phone rings and it's a wrong number, and then that person's name turns out to be someone that you know. But paranormal, which is what I feel that is, now I've learnt about the simulated reality and the possibility that we're living in a matrix, which is a big possibility and it's quite likely. Why do those little glitchy things happen then? Where does that come from? What is it about? Why? Now you don't know if it's from something good or something bad, right? You don't know if it has any meaning or why it happens. It interests me that it happens because this level of intelligent universe we're living in, and no one can deny that we are living in an intelligent universe, yeah, that's surrounded by data and information, and that comes from intelligence, doesn't it? Why would there be things happen that aren't meant to happen? Like, why would there be wrong numbers? Do you know what I mean? What is that all about? If we're living in an intelligent universe that's intelligent by design, then nothing odd would happen, would it? Would it? So yesterday I had a hair appointment that I'd made before my mum died, so I didn't know that my mum was going to die, and then I had my hair appointment. And then in the morning I was trying to phone through to where she lived. And I was sitting on the phone, hanging on. I gave up. I was like, oh God, I can't. I'll do it later. The phone that I don't really know what I'm doing with yet. And when it's on a lock screen, you have to slide it to open it. And I slid it. I thought I was sliding it towards the screen. No, it's switched off, so I cut someone off. I was like, oh my God. So I opened the phone up because I was trying to sort that out, and I accidentally called someone. No idea who I'm calling because I've got no contacts on my phone because I've lost all my data from my old phones that packed up. And this woman says, oh hello, it's Jeanie. I'm like, oh hello. She said, hello Tamasin, how are you? And I was like, I don't know anyone called Jeanie. I don't know who I'm talking to. I don't know who this is. Who do I know called Jeanie? Don't know anyone. It's obviously some random connect I've made at some stage. It's probably at church or something. And I misdialed and I hung up. She rang me back. I said, I'm so sorry, I dialed you by accident. Sorry about that. Put the phone down. Went to the hairdressers, had my hair done, and she starts talking to me about a woman. And I'll give you 3 guesses what her name was, this woman that she's talking to me about. Jeanie. Now, it's not about that Jeanie, it's the coincidence that the same name, which is quite an unusual name, Jeanie, twice in the same day. Once, no idea. Second time, see, these seemingly, they've got no causal connection, have they? They're no link at all. That's a coincidence. Was it Jung who said about the causal connection? But no causal relationship. So they're apparently completely unrelated, unconnected, and yet there's a coincidence happens. And I do feel, if ever there was a way for your higher self to communicate with you, it would be in the lining up of this intelligence, which you couldn't possibly do on your own, right? So it suggests to me that there's a high level of assistance coming your way and helping and letting you know that you're not on your own, that this life experience, there is more to it than what you can see. And it is fascinating, isn't it? And this is why I love to talk about it and share it, because us giving meaning to coincidence makes the coincidence occur more. So if you don't give it any meaning, don't give the coincidence any meaning at all, you probably wouldn't even notice it. Me, not only have I given it meaning, I've written a book about it. About the death of my mum still. The things that led up to her death, the coincidences and things that happened. She wrote to us a couple of weeks before her death. She would say things like, oh, have you noticed when people make jewellery, they do all wavy lines for the sun. They never have just straight lines, like a straight edge. We always visualise the rays of the sun being curvy, don't we? We do. So my son googled and found something on the computer that's like a Sunshape but with straight lines. Brooch. Sent it to her. She's happy as Larry. Fantastic, wonderful, thank you. Oh good, we've pleased her, made her feel good about something, she's happy. So then she writes back and says, oh, she'd quite like a green clover. Right, brooch. She'd quite like, you know, have you noticed how people don't really make clovers? Yeah, okay, Mum, we've got the message. This is how you tell us that you want something. So we laughed, and my son looked for a clover online. Couldn't really find anything much. It was, I guess the shamrocks were still for sale because of St Patrick's Day. So he found a green clover brooch, green stones in it. But the gold wasn't gold, and the colour was like pinky copper. Do you know what I mean? It just looked like a cheap thing. He sent it to her anyway because he'd ordered it and it had arrived, and I sent her a little England badge with it, England, because she liked Brexit. I thought, oh God, I'm going to go for a walk just to clear my head, you know, walk it off. Walked round the corner, walked to a post box, posted a letter to post, walked back a white road I don't normally go to. And as I was walking past the roads, I looked up and there's a street sign, Clova Road. Not spelled the right way, C-L-O-V-A, Clova Road. But there it was, and I was like, oh yeah, okay. So Saturday I went out to work, it's my usual thing that I do. And I had to go to Stanford Hope, so I have to. I mean, I'm really, really fortunate to be able to go out to this lovely little place. It's got a bus that goes, got a train and then a bus. I jumped off the train, got on the bus. The bus was right there pretty much, a few minutes. And during that few minutes, there was a woman at the bus stop. Now, this woman came trotting across the road. She was arguing with the traffic. She didn't care. She was like, they don't even stop, do they? I was like, no, they don't. They're coming around a blind bend doing 40 miles an hour. They're not going to stop. Right? You might want to go and find a zebra crossing, find a sensible place to stop. But anyway, but she had drive a moan about the cars because it's their fault that she nearly got run over. That right That there, YouTube, is a squirrel on my path. Look at it. This is the green area that I'm in. Hey, squirrel. Hello, darling. Are you okay? Look, it's absolutely frozen still. Can you see it just about on the path? It's camouflage. I'll cross over, or shall I? I don't know. It doesn't seem to be bothered by me. It's a very young squirrel, isn't it? It doesn't know any better. Hasn't got any sense. Having said that, it's probably now going to run up my leg. I'm going to try and walk past it, see if it cares about me. Hello, darling. I didn't mean to frighten you. I'm sorry. I'm just going to walk past. Yeah, go on. Look at that. Wow. There's a whole host of them in these trees. I was like, oh, okay. And then I said to her, yeah, I'm knocking on doors today because that's what I do. And she said, I can't remember what brought this up. Oh yeah, she said, I'm going to my niece's baby shower, which is new here, isn't it? For people of my age who don't have babies around them, baby showers weren't a thing when I had my son. So baby showers is new. She's going to a baby shower for her niece. And guess when it's due? It's due on the 13th of July. And I laughed and said, that's my dad's birthday. He's in spirit now, because my dad was the 13th one and he was born on the 13th of July. Number 13 is my lucky number. I passed my driving test on Friday the 13th. My brother passed his on Friday the 13th. My dad passed his driving test later in life on Friday the 13th because people are superstitious about it. They cancel their driving tests on that day. There's loads of cancellations. It's easy to get a cancellation for a test on that day. And also, strangely, people stay off the roads because there are superstitious people who won't drive on that day and the traffic's lighter. Don't ask me, I don't know why, but we all passed our driving test on Friday the 13th. My dad was born on Friday the 13th of July and he was the 13th one. So I'm sitting next to this woman that I don't know from Adam, and she's told, of all the dates that she could be expecting, her niece could be expecting that baby, it's the 13th of July, which is lovely. And so I love that coincidence again. And I just mentally, thank Spirit for reminding me that there's more going on here than we can possibly be aware of, and that we can see and that we can know. We can't know what goes on. My message is for all of you to do your own coincidences and give meaning to the coincidences, whatever it is that you want them to mean, because whatever it is you want them to mean, that is what they mean. Right? So if your higher self is trying to get a message to you that you're about to experience a death or you're about to have some good news, if you've assigned a coincidence to that, then that will happen. Sometimes it's just your higher self trying to say, hi, we're still here, we've still got your back, we're here, just link up, all you got to do is ask. And for me, I've assigned also not just the coincidences, but life events that happen. Like when you bump into someone that you know, when you're out and about and you're not where you're supposed to be, they're not where they're supposed to be, and yet you bump into them. I love that. Being asked for directions, another thing, one of my favourite things. Because in this day and age of the sat-nav, that shouldn't be happening, should it? Really? No. What else has happened? Well, we're now on the new moon and I'm still not feeling 100%. I'm probably back at about 75% now. It's summer. We've gone past the full moon. The idea for me is that I'm going to try and do full moon videos and new moon videos, okay, live. But I didn't make it this month. No, of course I didn't. Try again next month. Look how quickly months go. They're just flying by, aren't they? But I have had some interesting things happen. My fortune favours the brave thing. That's just so funny that I strolled into Basildon and found a book called Fortune Favours the Brave. Now I'm pretty sure there's a Netflix documentary waiting to be written about the Mandela effect. It is, it's out there waiting to be made, isn't it? And you know how I can turn a small coincidence into a giant drama and story? It's making a mountain out of a molehill, or finding a book from days gone by that's got a phrase written on it that I've been going on about. I just love that. The universe has delivered, right? Or have I attracted it into my reality? Have I created that to happen? Can I make a bigger meal out of it? Is it possible to make a story out of it by following it up? Yes, it is, and yes, I will. And maybe it will lead to a dead end. Maybe nothing will happen, but it's the possibility that something could happen. It's a possibility. I don't know, there's an end of a story. Like tying up the loose ends and tying up storylines in films. Is there a loose end to be tied up there that we don't even know exists? You know, like sometimes when you see these documentaries on Netflix where somebody tracks down an old drummer from a really old band and they get there only to discover that he's actually, you know, created some children's home and music centres for people who haven't got any money, and then because of that documentary loads of money goes flying at him because he's been there beaving away for like the last 30 years teaching impoverished kids how to play the guitar or whatever. Do you know what I mean? It's like, instead of waiting to be discovered, go and do the discovering and see what you can uncover, see what you can highlight, and see if you can make other people's lives and stories interesting. How about that? Maybe that's a little path that book can lead me on, give me something to do, like as if I haven't got enough to do, because honestly I'm busy. What has taken a back seat now is taking the photos of my travels. You know, can't do it anymore. I feel like I've done enough. I feel like I've reported enough. I've put the story out there. I've shown other people how to create something out of coincidence, how to give symbols meaning. So if I can do it, you can do it, right? But I've done it enough now for myself, and I feel like the amount of videos that I've put out enough for other people to be able to watch and enjoy, right? Because it is enjoyable. If you enjoy coincidence, you're going to love my videos about coincidence, and you're going to love creating your own coincidence. And all you've got to do to level up with creating the coincidences, to start noticing them, appreciate them, put some energy into them. So you've either got to talk about them, write about them, take photos of them, right? Document them. And the act of doing that, you're putting energy in, creates it to happen more around you. Now, I don't understand why. I don't understand. There's more that goes on this planet than we can possibly understand. Whether or not the fact that you're doing that, like if you were saying guardian angels were around us all the time, would you then be the person that has evidence of the guardian angels? I suspect you would. Now, I don't know if it's because the law of attraction is just attracting the same physical dynamics into this reality from the non-physical and the unseen, or whether there's an actual higher intelligence that thinks like we do, and thinks like this person is being appreciative and can do more with this information, so I'm going to give it to them. So the more you use the information and the data that you've been given, the more data you will be given. How about that? And is it the same with money? The more you use money and put it to good use, the more money you get to play with. I don't know. That's an interesting thought, isn't it? Well, my things that I've managed to manifest all the time without any problem at all are crows. Crows come up all the time. Birds show up a lot for me. Magpies have been showing up for years and years. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different numbers of magpies in different stages of my life. And often they really do herald news in advance. Right, now I can't explain that. I can't explain how that works with the law of attraction, in that you see one magpie, you think, oh, something to be sorrowful about, and then you do get the news of sorrow. How does that work? There are some things which I can't explain, they're not logical, don't know. But birds act as messengers, right? Now again, is it because they're just flying through the air? They're easy to manipulate, their feathers drop off all the time. This week I've been going about pink feathers, yeah, and I keep seeing wood pigeons. Now, wood pigeons is not a bird that I've particularly paid attention to in the past. They must have been always all around me, but I've never noticed them. I'm sitting in a park having a coffee, skiving off actually is what I was doing, and a wood pigeon came up. Obviously I took a photo, and on its chest it's got like a soft dusky pink feather. No, it has, right? That is a pinky colour. It's like sort of maroony pink, but it's probably about as pink a feather as you can get on a bird around here, okay? So I took a photo. Whenever I go, I see these pigeons. As I was walking home, there was about 50 of them on a field. Pigeons come home to roost, right? Anyway, thanks for listening, YouTube. I do my best with the time that I've got, but I want to make the most of my time that I've got. And so I really want to finish my coincidence book, which is going to mean doing less YouTubing and editing. Thanks for listening. My YouTube stats, for anyone that's interested, so far I've got 60,000 minutes of watch time. I've been doing it for 3 years. Have to laugh, don't you think? I'm trying not to complain. Now, even relating stories of the unwanted can sound like complaining, can't they? But for me, it's almost like a way of painting the picture of the story that I was in that stopped me from taking a photo of this item that I'm about to show you. Because rather than take a photo, I picked it up. You know, I was saying that next time I see a feather, I'm going to pick it up, I'm going to start collecting them. I'm going to make a backdrop of all the feathers that come my way, because only the big ones, you know, because there's millions of little ones. And only the feathers that seem to be out of place, unusual, unexpected. Well, this one was. So I've picked it up. Just think that has been stuck in a bird, helping it fly. Look at it. Right, now my thing was, is it germy? Is it dirty? Is it something I really shouldn't be doing? Has it got little bugs and things on it? Have I got to spray it with some sort of lotion or anti-bacteria or something? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% entirely sure about the hygiene behind this. But I didn't have time to take a photo. I did have time to bring down and pick it up and bung it in my bag, which is why it's looking a bit ropey, because it spent the rest of the day nestled in my bag while I was working. And because I did say I was going to try and pick feathers up, didn't I? And I couldn't do it. When it came to it, I couldn't do it because there was someone watching me, and I was embarrassed. Like I was actually, oh, what's that person going to think about me picking feathers up? But that feather was just, it's quite large, isn't it? It's huge on my path. It's just like in the sunlight, it was glowing white. And to me, it's a reminder of spiritual things.